Hello and welcome back. We are doing prerequisite number 7. So, this one is solving right triangle problems with trig. So this is algebra 2 with trig. Okay. I just want to go over really quick before we start. How many of you remember SOHCAHTOA? I really hope you remember SOHCAHTOA because that is the biggest cheat in this. SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA. What does SOHCAHTOA stand for? I hope you guys know. If you don't. So the first part of them all mean something. So stands for sine, the S in so. The C in ka stands for cosine, and the T in toa stands for tangent. Now, what does the OH, the AH, and the OA stand for? Opposite. The O's are all opposite. The H's are all hypotenuse. And then the A's are all adjacent. Okay, so I hope you guys remember SOHCAHTOA. So what does that mean for our sines, our cosines, and our tangents? We're going to be writing them like this. So opposite over hypotenuse, ka, adjacent over hypotenuse, toa, opposite over adjacent. Sine of f. So we're going to take SOHCAHTOA, opposite over hypotenuse. What is the opposite of f? 15. What is the hypotenuse? 17. Cosine of f. Adjacent over hypotenuse. What is the adjacent of f? 8. What is the hypotenuse of f? 17. Toa. Adjacent, opposite over adjacent. What is the opposite of f? 15. What is the adjacent of f? 8. Okay. Now we're going to do sine of d. Well, d is over here. So, a over h. Or sorry, opposite over hypotenuse. The opposite is 8. The hypotenuse is 17. Cosine, ka. Adjacent over hypotenuse. What is the adjacent? 15. What is the hypotenuse? 17. Toa. Opposite over adjacent. What is the opposite? 8. What is the adjacent? 15. That's it. That's all we did. We just find the ratio of everything. Now, going on to question 2. Using the diagram above, so this one here, calculate the measure of degrees of angle F. Okay, so angle F, we can choose any one from this row. Let's just do sine because it's the first one. Sine of F degrees is equal to, what do we say? 15 over 17. That's just from the first box over here. You guys will have calculators for this. How do we input this into the calculator? Sine inverse of 15 over 17. We were taking the inverse, so it swaps these two. So then it's equal to F. So then when we put that in our calculator, we get 62 degrees. That's the value of F. Okay, now we're going to do question 3. That's it for the diagram. Question 3 says, when a ladder leans against the wall, it reaches a height of 15 feet. The angle of incline is 60 degrees. Okay, so you guys have seen a bunch of these problems before, hopefully, about a ladder leaning against a wall. So this is our wall here. And at the bottom of every single wall is the floor. So when the wall meets the floor, that's a 90-degree angle. If it's not a 90-degree angle, then the builders did something wrong, or the building is old and it is slanted. There will always be 90 degrees. That's always implied. So our ladder is leaning against the wall. So when it leans against the wall, this is our ladder leaning against the wall. It always touches the wall at one point, and it has to touch the floor at one point. So when the ladder leans against the wall, it reaches a height of 15 feet. So that means that our wall is 15 feet from where the ladder touches it. The angle of incline is 60. So what that means is that the angle that the ladder is at is 60. How far away is the wall from the base of the ladder? So how far away is the wall from the base of the ladder? They're asking about that. So which one can we use? We have, this is our angle over here of 60. We have the opposite, which is 15, and we have the adjacent, which is x. So which one is OA? So, ka, toa, tangent. So to do this, we do tangent of what is our angle that we're doing? 60 is equal to opposite over adjacent. What is our opposite? Well, we said our opposite is 15. What is our adjacent? X. We're trying to solve for x. So what do? Plug into your calculator tangent of 60. And what do you get? 1.73 is equal to 15 over x. So what do we get for 15 over x? We multiply. So we're going to multiply this side by x, and we're going to multiply this side by x to get x times 1.73 is equal to 15. Now, we want to get x alone. So to get x alone, we're going to divide both sides by 1.73. Divide by 1.73. We get x is equal to 8.66. And 8.66 what? What are our units? Feet. So how far away is the wall from the base of the ladder? 8.66 feet. That's what this is. 8.66 feet. Okay, now the last question. A kite is flying extended on 100 feet of string, and it is 30 feet high. What is the angle of elevation of the kite? Okay, so the kite is on 100 feet of string. So this is the bottom of our string. This is the top of our string where our kite is. And the little tail with our kite. How cute. Okay, so that's our kite. We said that this is 100 feet. Then we said it's 30 feet high. So from the ground, it's 30 feet high. Now it's asking what is the angle of elevation. So remember, this is our angle over here. This angle. What is this angle? And then this is our ground. This is our low grass. So we're trying to find x. What do we have in our problem? Well, we have, trying to pick the color we haven't used. So we have the opposite of our angle over, well, this is adjacent, which we don't have. We have the hypotenuse. So what is O? Ka, so ka, toa. It is sine. So what is it? Sine of our angle, which we don't know, x, is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. Well, what is our opposite? 30. What is our hypotenuse? 100. So remember how we did it before? Sine inverse of 30 over 100 is equal to x degree. So if you put in your calculator sine of 30 over 100, what do you get? 17.5 is equal to x. So what is our unit? Degrees. What is the angle of elevation? 17.5 degrees. So the main key for these questions, so, ka, toa. You must remember SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. Our cosine of our value is adjacent over hypotenuse. And then the tangent of our value, remember we're all in degrees, is opposite over adjacent. Okay, we're going to be doing prerequisite 8 in the next video.